pictures came out of Yasser and Monahan playing at St. Andrews. Pretty interesting photos, I thought. They seemed very buddy-buddy. They were shaking hands. They were patting each other on the back. We had talked a couple weeks ago about, like, what are these pictures going to look like? Are they going to allow pictures? Yasser's a powerful guy who probably has a lot of enemies, but it seems like they were just out there playing golf like a couple of buddies, and it looked pretty friendly.
Look, man, I know we probably said it a year ago when they announced this framework deal, but all of this just reiterates to me the key lesson you need to take away in life, no matter what it involves, is that money drives everything in this world. And those two were severe adversaries. Jay Monahan has dozens and dozens of clips, in which case Yasser and LIV and the PIF are mentioned, and he can't even bring himself to like address them third party, like he considers them legitimate people or entities or anything. And then now here we are, and he's out there at the old course and Carnoustie and Kings Barnes, and he's with this whole crowd and hanging. It just teaches me and reminded me, like I said, that to save your business, to have more money come into pockets of your athletes and your business and probably yourself, none of this other stuff matters. None of the gripes, the issues, the dislike, even all the way down to like some really, really bad stuff that Jay Monahan has invoked, doesn't even matter at all. It was weird seeing it, but also then on another weird level as a person, I'm kind of like, oh, look at that. That's kind of nice. Those guys are out there hanging. It's like weird that I think that, because I've said some pretty bad stuff too, probably being like, I don't like this history, human rights record, all that. And then on a human level, ironically enough, maybe however you want to call it, I was like a couple guys out at an iconic course having a nice stroll. Look at that. That's beautiful.
I think you're right. Like there was a lot of talk, and there was a lot of talk on this show. There's a lot of talk in general, but what it boils down to is the people who have the most money, or certainly the people who are sitting on incredible amounts of oil in this case, they're just going to win. So let's make a deal. I think somebody asked Rory what he thought about these two playing together, and I think he was either out there or in the group behind him or something like that. And Rory gave a pretty standard answer, and then at the end just went, I just don't know how many times I can answer the same question. So you guys have been asking me this stuff for 2 years, and now we've got Jay and Yasser playing golf together. Seems like it went pretty well. Do I know if a deal happened? No. Is a deal going to happen? Maybe. Look at these pictures that we're looking at. I mean, Jay, this is as happy as I've seen Jay in 3 years.
He's the whole time, man, he just wanted a new friend. He wanted somebody that was like, man, this has been
the picture,
crazy.
That is a picture that stunned me. You got Billy Horschel in the background. You've got Jay with his right hand on Yasser's left shoulder. They look like they're about to kiss, if we're being honest about what that picture looks like. And that's just kind of where we're at. So, yeah, maybe it's not the human rights issues. Maybe it's not, the dirty money. Maybe it's the friends we made along the way.
It looks in that photo, it really does. Like at the very least, Jay Monahan is going to kiss Yasser on the cheeks as like a sign of respect, or grab his hand even and like kiss his hand. But I guess to kind of quote Rory a little bit in this, it's like it is. I don't know how many different times you can kind of talk about it and say it. It is insane that I think a bunch of Rory's comments since then too were in some way related to believing that these two tours are not going to come together anytime soon, that it's going to be at best a couple years, and that they're both going to sort of live on in the way that they are in their own individually for at least a few years. And so those two things are definitely a dichotomy. I mean, when you're looking at these two guys, they're buddy. Tiger's had meetings with these two guys and with Yasser, and you would think like, okay, they must be getting close. But for Rory to be saying that stuff, and again, not like he's been the most correct person in the history of this LIV golf being around on planet Earth, So he might be wrong. They could announce it, but to hear that, I thought was a little bit interesting when you see that these two seem to be kind of buddy buddy out there and like they're getting along just great. Um, so yeah, I guess it's a beautiful thing to see. I said Billy Horschel has had some incredibly choice words against this whole thing out there in the background. It's a wild world, man.
It's just golf bringing people together, you know? At the very end of the day, that's what this sport is all about. It's bringing old and young people together. It's bringing Yasser and Jay together. It's just really, really great.